welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, October 17th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias that you can follow me on. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like. I also have show notes, so links to things that I will be talking about will be everywhere, all the various places, mainly my blog, but the link to my blog will be down below. You can see I've turned blue for some reason. I'm not sure how to fix that, but we're just gonna have to go with it. I also work at a yarn store. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and I will leave all the various website, social media information, all the various places. If you would like to check us out either online or in person, the cat has hopped down from the bed. Bye! Are you leaving? I'm just getting started. Bye! I'm recording in here today because Mondays is Sam, my husband's work from home, one of his work from home days, and he has had calls all day, and there's just been a lot of chatter, so I am in here up against our dresser, or the dresser that holds most of my clothes, mostly my clothes, I should say. Anyway, I'm gonna try and figure out what to do about this light situation. I don't like the fact that I am blue. I don't know how to change that. Do we try and figure this out right now? I don't know. How long have I had this camera and I don't know how to do that? I don't know. That's okay, we'll figure it out. We have a lot of knitting to talk about, and it just things in general, and I forgot, I didn't forget, but I haven't put up the DFW little clip things that I have put together, so I apologize for that, but I hopefully will do that soon. And we have knitting to talk about, and it's rainy, and we had a cold front come through yesterday, which is really nice. So if you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, whatever it may be, maybe it's helping you get through a task that is not as much fun, or maybe you're just resting. Whatever it is, you can do all of those things, none of those things, whatever brings you joy, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Okay, that's a little better. I closed the blinds. Not all the way, but that's okay. It's not currently raining. I don't need to see if it's not raining right now because it's not currently raining. Anyway, let us just get to it. I will say I'm feeling a headache coming on, which I'm not surprised about, but also if my energy level seems less than normal, that is why. But nothing that some pain medicine can't help with, and a little caffeine, and of course water, because hydration is important. I do have a finished object. I have a full one, and then I have half of one, which I literally just finished about 20 minutes ago. So fun times ahead. Let's see, is there anything else that we need to talk about before I get started? I talked about the weather. We did have this cold front come through. I'm very excited. It's not hanging around for a long time, which is a downside. That is sad. But we will take what we can get, for sure. Better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Sorry. Situating myself. I feel like this is very... I can't... there we go. But yes, so we have test knit stuff, we have Mr. Knit Along stuff, we have sock stuff, and those are really the main groups that we're going to be talking about today. I feel like I haven't it's not that I haven't worked on a bunch of different things, because I know I have, but also there's just like last year, I really managed my test knitting time in regards to the Mr. Knit Along month. I don't remember what I did or how I did it. I'm pretty sure I just said no to things, really. This year I did not do that, and I have a lot of test knits going on right now, and though the deadlines are not like tomorrow by any means, they're definitely soon, and I can't devote every knitting moment to my knitting, or to my Mr. Knit Along knitting, and which is kind of sad, but also like it's okay. We're gonna embrace our pace, as Steven says, and we're not gonna worry about it, and I'm so excited about how it's looking and where it's going, and based off of Clue 2. Sorry, now we're talking very much out of order here. I was getting ready to show you a finished object, and now we're talking about the Mr. Knit Along. It's just everywhere right now. That and Rhinebeck pictures and videos and all that stuff. Yes, the Mr. Knit Along is definitely not on my front burner right now, and that's okay. You know, that's just part of life, and I have these test knits, and I'm so excited about all of them. I love them so dearly, but also I just did a better job last year, and that's okay. You know, we learn, we live and we learn. It's all good. I do have a finished object though, and it is a test knit, so that is really great. This is the Heartwood stripes. Heartwood stripes, is that it? I feel like, I did this last time too. I do apologize. It means nothing about, this is not a Heartwood stripes. Yes, I was right eventually. This is a pullover by Tiffany Lynn of Tiffany Lynn Designs. This is just a yoked pullover. We've got these garter ridge stripes and some stockinette stripes in there as well. And then also we have a herringbone cuff, which is very fun. So I used Barocco Ultra Wool DK, which I got from Pearly Girls. I also, I think I was getting close to running out of my main color, my brown, or my light brown, I should say. And so I added the purple on the bottom of the ribbing as well. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, I think. I honestly don't... Is that how it's supposed to be? Or maybe it actually is supposed to be in the purple. And I did 2 rows in my main color and had forgotten to change colors. That also could have been it. I've slept since finishing this. But it's a great pullover. It's really wonderful. I have pictures on my Instagram if you'd like to see me wearing it. I do apologize that the colors today, they are not accurate necessarily at all. But they are similar, kind of. So that is that, and it is done. So another finished object, another test knit that is done. Now I only have 4 of them going on. I did cast on one of the ones that I needed to, so that's good. And I powered through. It was quite incredible. I honestly don't remember what I was doing that evening. So for the longest time there were these 2 test knits that I had gotten, and I knew that the deadlines were pretty far in advance, so I didn't really need to worry about it. And I finally cast on one of them to actually get it started, because that's important. And So I just have one that I don't have cast on yet, and that one's not due until December. So once I finish one of these ones that I'm about to show you, I will cast on that that last one. Because I do have mystery knit a long time, and it's important to have that nice balance. You know, it's all about balance of having these fun things and these knitting things with deadlines, and that's all well and good. And I'm not saying either one is bad. Having a balance, that is the best place to be. Finding that balance, on the other hand, is the tricky part. And am I the best at that? I don't know. Sam just sneezed really loudly. I don't know if you could hear that, but if you could hear that, that's funny. Shows you how loud his sneezes are. Anyway, so we'll talk about that one when we get there. How about that? Okay, so living in my Rose and Seams bag, my pumpkin spice Rose and Seams bag, which I just love and adore. It is my favorite. I am working on the Hemlock pullover. I think it's Hemlock. It's something like that. I know it begins with an H. This is the problem about having too many at once, is that you cannot remember what all is going on. Hemlock sweater, I was correct. And now I can't remember the designer. I say as I put my phone down. So this is a test knit for Winter's Weather Knits. Joey of Winter Weather's Knits. And this is my Hemlock sweater. And I have made great progress since I last showed this to you all. I was really hoping that I would have it done by now, but the mystery knit along happened and other things happened, and that's okay. You know, we're just plugging along. It's not due for 2 weeks, so I'm not worried about it at all. But this is what I have so far. And I'm working on my first sleeve. Even though the colors are wonky, the texture of this knit shows up really well, which is a plus. So let us be grateful for that. This is a all-over texture pullover. It is very cropped. You can obviously change that length if need be. It's a drop shoulder. It's bottom up, and I will also be picking up around the neckline, I believe. I'm super excited about this. I'm getting ready to yawn. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Excuse me. I'm super excited about this sweater in particular. I tried it on last night to gauge my sleeve length, and I'm just right on track. Having a grand old time. And I have several shirts that I've gotten that I love and adore from American Eagle and Aerie. I love their stuff. It's some of my absolute favorite things. And this sweater fits like these shirts, and I'm so excited, and they're my favorite. Hello, did you join me again? Are you gonna hop back up on the bed and snuggle with the laundry? He's like, what are you doing sitting on the floor? So I'm so excited about this. It is definitely on the crop side. We also have these, we have a side seam, we have a faux seam along the side, and there's also one on the sleeve as well. So that is very nice. The sleeves are also the same texture as the body. And yeah, I'm just really having a fun time. Because of the nature of these stitches and the fact that they are both twisted, it's definitely a slower knitting process, and I think that's definitely why this has taken me so long. If it was just plain knit, I would have probably ripped through it super quickly. And that's totally fine. It is very worth every single moment because it is creating such a nice texture. I apologize for the sirens. We don't normally have these problems anymore because we live in a neighborhood, but on the back of the house we're closer to a bigger road. So I am using, a Dulce from Barocco. I got this yarn from my work as well. Dulce. And this is the Onyx colorway, I believe. Yes. And I feel like there's a really good chance I'm going to have a ton left over. But we will see. We will see. I think I have 2 other balls of yarn, and obviously I'm not quite halfway through on my first sleeve. And I still have, this is quite a full ball of yarn. So we will see. We will see. And I mean, if not, if I don't use everything, I know I love this yarn. I'll use it in other things as well. So, because it adds, it's a nice texture. This fiber content is quite interesting actually. So it's 50% cotton, 20% nylon, 16% alpaca, and 14% wool. So it's not what you would expect. It's not a mohair. It's not an alpaca, but it is fuzzy like one. But it's cotton, and I'm pretty sure the cotton is this core center that you can see running through, and then the nylon and the wool and whatever else. Oh no, there is alpaca. Excuse me, that's my bad. That's where the fuzzy comes in. That is what is spun around the core, but the core I'm assuming would be cotton. But anyway, I really love this. I love how this color is turning out. It's kind of, in proper lighting, it looks kind of like an iridescent, holographic type color, because you can see the color of the core changing and running throughout, but it's overall obviously, bless you. There's lots of sneezing going on apparently. The cat has sneezed as well. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. I just, this is my top priority in regards to test knits right now, because this is the closest to us, or to me, I should say, deadline. So, but again, I don't think, like, they're just sleeves, and I knit that much in a very short amount of time, and I'm not quite halfway, but I'm very close to halfway, so I'm not terribly worried. I just need to keep on chipping away at it. We are planning on taking a little trip sometime soon, and I'm hoping to get some finished object pictures, and I'm very excited. Because we are actually taking a camping trip, and I'm very excited about that. And so hopefully we'll have some nice wooded pictures of this sweater, and also another hopefully finished object. I have half of it done, so you can imagine, what does that mean usually when people say I have half a finished object done? They're socks. They have socks. I know I shared them last time, but I'm very proud of them. Anyway, moving along with test knits. This is in my By the Bay bag, which I love. I love it. And I really need to pull this sweater out for rotation more, but I think once I get the Hemlock sweater done, then I can pull things into more rotation, obviously, and say no to test knits. I am definitely needing to take a break and just slow down. Anyway, so this is my Fall Frolic sweater by Samantha Gurin of Samantha Gurin Designs. And do I have a progress keeper on here? I do. I don't think that is where I was last time I showed it to you, but that is okay. But this is what I have so far. I did not work on it very much. I just did maybe 5 or 6 rows past this color work portion. It is a top-down yoked sweater. We have these 1x1 color sequences, and then we've got some slip stitches in here as well. There are 6 of these, I think, up at the yoke, and then there's also some around the sleeves, the bottom of the sleeves, and I'm very excited. Bless you. You keep sneezing. Sneezy boy. Oh no, I do have a progress keeper. Oh, it is one of my new ones. How wonderful. I got this progress keeper from Monster Stitches from DFW. It is a little maple leaf. And it's not really hanging nicely, but there's a little gem thing in there as well. And all of her stuff will be, or all of the things obviously, ooh, wow, now we're looking a little less blue. That's nice. Probably because I was holding up this brown yarn. All of the things obviously will be in the show notes. So this is what I have so far. It doesn't really look like much, but again, once I get the Hemlock sweater done, once I get the yoke of this done and all that jazz, am I knitting this on a smaller needle than I normally do? No, this is a 6, okay. I don't know why I thought that, but anyway, so I need to work on this. I'm using Barocco Lannis Light, which, surprise, I got from work, in this brown heathered colorway. Really love it. And then I also am using Woolen Boons Classic Sock in the Blueberry Jam colorway. And this was old stash, and I got this to go with this blue. So it is turning out very nicely. I have a problem with these kinds of balls of yarn. I love them. They are great. They are really hard to pull from the middle. I prefer to pull from the middle of a cake of yarn. That is my personal preference. I know there are pros and cons to both. I know some people swear by pulling from the outside. That's not my preferred favorite way, and your preferred favorite way does not have to be pulling from the inside. I prefer pulling from the inside. So when I have to pull from the outside of these guys, because it is hard to find the end to pull from the inside, not impossible, just not easy. It is so hard to have this sit in the bottom of this bag, and like I can't pull on it because, and that was a bad example, but oh, this is just a bad example because it's sitting nicely, but you can't pull from it when it's in a bag because it has to roll around because you're pulling from the outside, and it is pain and it is very irritating. And I think what I really need to do, what I should do, is actually rewind this. I think I would have a happier time if I just rewound it into an actual cake and I could pull from the center, and then I could have both of these sitting in this bag, and or probably a bigger bag. I think at this point I really need to get a bigger bag for this, but they can both sit next to each other, and then I can pull from them easy peasy and knit just fine. I think because when I do work on this, I have to pull this one out and I have to let it roll around, especially when I'm not at home or in a place that is, I have a very small amount of space. And I can't do that. Excuse me. That is just, it really irritates me. I'm not one, oh, we're turning blue again. I'm not one to really make a big deal about that kind of thing, but I would definitely say it's one of my knitting pet peeves, is when that, I need to be able to freely pull from a ball of yarn, and I can't from this. And I know there are ways around it, but it is just not conducive to the speed of knitting that I would like to have for this sweater, and I need to figure out how to make it more of a pleasant experience for me. That is nothing on anything except for the yarn. But I'm really loving how this is turning out. I think it's looking super great. I think it's one of those ones, I feel like I say this about all my test knits really that have multiple colors, but because it's so simple of a color work thing that you can really have a fun time picking out your contrasting color, and you can have it really be super subtle and light and delicate, or you can have it be more contrasty like the way I've gone, or be like super like a neon version. I think that would be really fun too. So, Fall Frolic Sweater by Samantha Gurin. She did actually release a hat pattern of the same stitch idea, so that is super exciting, and I know that came out right before Rhinebeck, so it is out now. But yeah, having a grand old time. I need to work on that more. I'm going to say that about all of these things. But, so now we're going to move along to my final test knit that I have on my needles right now, minus the one that's not currently cast on yet. But so this one I actually frogged an old project for, because the old project I clearly wasn't having a fun time doing, and I know I was so excited about it and I was just really loving, or I really wanted this finished item, but I just wasn't working on it, and I don't remember why, and I remember the construction being very strange, and I just wasn't working on it, and so it sat in my whip pile for a very, 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 very long time, until last week sometime. And I pulled it out and I was like, okay, cool, I'm not even gonna like actually frog it. I'm gonna knit, I'm gonna rip these needles out, and I am gonna frog it technically, but I'm not going to rewind it into a ball. I'm gonna knit from it directly. So I was literally knitting from a sweater into another sweater, because who has time to wind up yarn? I think also I was watching, got my, I hadn't cast on yet. It was last Monday, and in fact, probably going to do this again this evening, because I am a huge fan of Dancing with the Stars. I haven't watched it for years and years and years and years, but I started watching a couple years ago and was just, I love it so much. And the fact that it's on Disney Plus now, and you can watch it live, and that's really cool, and you can vote, and I've never done that before, and it seems very silly, but I'm very excited to be part of the Dancing with the Stars community. But anyway, so I was watching it last week. Are you a fan of Dancing with the Stars? Are you watching this season? And I knit almost half of my sweater, which I'm not complaining about. I'm definitely not complaining about. So I got I cast on, I did all my increases, I did my v-neck stuff, I joined in the round, I divided for the sleeves obviously, and knitting on the body now. I am on size 10s. Are these 10s or these 10 and a halves? That is the question. These are 10 and a halves, but either way, I am so excited about this. This is super fun. This is the Feels Like Winter pullover by Becky Clo Designs. I think that's what she has changed her design handle to. I test knit something for her earlier this year, and she was Pots and Knots at the time, and she has changed her designing name, which I think is awesome. Yeah, Becky Clo Designs. So I'm using, what am I using? I am using this yarn that Sam got me for Christmas last year. This is from Hobby. This is Tweed Delight. And this is the color 02. I know it has like an actual name. It's like something like Ivory Confetti or something like that, which would make sense with this color and this yarn. It's a single ply, it's super fluffy, very soft. knits up like a dream. Well, look, I'm pulling from the middle. Imagine that. Surprise, surprise. When you can find, like, for real though, if you can find the ends on balls like this and the one I was showing you, if you can find the ends on the inside, it is amazing. I know that there's a tendency for yarn barf. It's okay. It's fine. It doesn't bother me, and it may bother you, and that's okay. But also, the feeling of finding an end on a ball like this is quite wonderful. The sense of accomplishment is quite intense. I prefer it that way. So, not to say it's the end-all be-all way. It doesn't work for everybody. I'm very aware, and that is totally fine. It's just how I prefer to do it. But yeah, I'm just really loving how this is knitting up. It's gonna be just a regular, good staple V-neck sweater. I'm very excited about it. There are I-cord edgings around everything. The neck, the bottom, and the sleeves as well. So I'm quite excited about that. And yeah, I was just plugging along. Who knows, maybe I'll finish the body tonight. I honestly really need to try it on and make sure where I want the length to go. So yes, this is not due until next month sometime, but because next month is 2 weeks away and I have other things that I also need to do and have deadlines to do. It's not at the beginning of next month necessarily. Oh, it may be actually. Never mind, I take that back. I don't remember, but it's gonna be fine. I'm just, it'll get done. It'll be fine. And the mystery knit along will just get knit when it gets knit, and that's okay. My goal is right now to get this Hemlock sweater done. And then also to get my socks done for our trip, because I want to take finished object pictures. If I happen to take this, if this is done as well, that would be wonderful too, but that is not my main goal. I know that the fall frolic sweater will not be done by fine. It's not due until later. So feels like winter pullover. This is like a chunky, heavy worsted weight. I am super excited about it. And I'm loving getting to knit with this yarn. I'm really glad that I just didn't worry about frogging the other thing that I was working on, because clearly I wasn't working on it. If I was excited about it, I would want to be working on it, or I would have gotten it done way before now. But now it's being turned into something else. There's probably going to be a lot left over, so who knows what else I will make with this yarn. I love it though, so I would definitely not mind having another, like a Felix cardigan. Ah, that is something. Ooh, I have ideas. Because I definitely don't need to be casting things on right now, but I do really want to. I just remembered that I also had been working on my Amara sweater, or I did work on my Amara sweater. I think it was like a couple days after last time I recorded. I knit on my Amara sweater, which is my hot pink Surrey from Mace of Skeins. I'm just so excited about it. The Amara sweater is by Rachel Knits Things. Yes, Rachel Knits Things. And I am just loving it. I have not worked on it since that time, because deadlines and Mr. Knit Along things and such, but that's okay. That one doesn't have like a hard and fast deadline for me. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know, looking ahead to Thanksgiving here. there's a chance that it may actually be kind of chilly on Thanksgiving. Granted, I know things can change. Goodness knows weather can change at the drop of a hat. But if it's gonna be cold, I would love to have a knit sweater. And by that point, I should potentially have at least those 3 done. So I have all those 3 and all the other thousands of sweaters that I've knit, but also I'd really like to be able to wear my Amara sweater. But I don't know. I need to figure that out. Anyway, that is not a thing to decide right now. That is just a thing to start the discussion, you know. So, let us move on to my socks in my little sushi bag. I've been working on, and finally finished. I finished it this morning. I was going to finish it last night. I was bound and determined, but it got to a certain point and it was late. I had an early morning this morning and I had like 10 rows left. And I was like, I do not feel like doing the Kitchener stitch right now, so we are just gonna call it and I'll do it tomorrow if I have the chance before I record. If not, we'll still count it as a finished object because it's basically done. But that is the combination of the vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady and a little Hocus Pocus by This Handmade Life. And I say that because I've taken the body of the vanilla sock pattern on Knitted Circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady. That is a mouthful. And I have implemented the cable pattern from a little Hocus Pocus sock pattern by This Handmade Life, which both are free patterns on Ravelry if you were interested. Obviously things will be linked. So it has just gone so beautifully. I'm so excited. I'm very proud of myself. I've never done this before, of taking 2 sock patterns and putting them together. Or putting something into a sock pattern, I should say that I've never done that before. This is a sock set from Vesper Sock Yarn. This is in the Skeleton Key colorway. And it's the main color self-striping, and it came with the orange mini skein. So here's the orange mini skein, and here is the main color. So, and we take these 2 and we come up with a sock. And yes, I know it looks very small, but I have very small feet, and I mean, I think maybe should I block these? I don't know. The real question is, will I have time to block both of them by the time I want to take pictures of them? I don't think so. So we will just have to wait and see. But who knows? I mean, I knit almost the entire leg in a very short amount of time, maybe like 2 days or something like that. And I know other people do it faster, and that's totally wonderful and very amazing. But I think with the cable pattern, I hadn't done cables on socks either, and so I was doing that, but I was just so excited about it because they look so fun. They're so Halloween-y. I'm just so excited, and yes, there's this little bit of the white on the bottom of the heel, but that's okay. It's fine. Kind of had that going on the toe as well, but that's okay. It does not matter. They will not be matching. Again, I know that is an important thing for some people in their socks. That is not important for me. It will not bother me. No shame if it bothers you. I completely and totally understand that and respect that, but my socks will not be matching, so I'm so excited about these. I think these are so fun, and I just really can't wait to take pictures of these. This will be pair 2 for this year, as of right now, so, because I have another half-finished pair that I was working on before this, but I think my Kitchener stitch turned out pretty well. It is not perfect by any means. Excuse me. By any means, but this is going to be difficult. But either way, it's nice. I think I did a good job. No one's going to be looking at the tip of my toe. Being like, wow, your Kitchener stitch started off really wonky. And in fact, they probably wouldn't even know what a Kitchener stitch was, so we'll just leave it at that. I like to knit my 6 on 9 inch, or my socks on 9-inch circulars. Ta-da! I'm not gonna say this is the only way to knit socks, because I know, again, we have a lot of hot topics we're talking about this week. A lot of personal preference items. I'm not gonna say this is the only way to knit a sock, but I will say that in my opinion, this is the best way. I have tried all the ways to knit socks. It is my personal opinion and my favorite way to knit socks. I have tried all of them over the years, and I was a big DPNs person for a long time. Long time, and I just couldn't do the 2 circs, couldn't do the 2 at a time, couldn't do magic loop. Just not my thing. Not my thing. And then the 9-inch circulars became a thing, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is the life. This is the sock knitting life. This is what is going to help me knit more socks. And I can wear them with my Birkenstocks, and it's just like, this is why we need cooler weather. This is why. But got a lot of strong opinions, strong emotions today. It's not always like this if this is the first episode that you're watching. It's also probably more high energy than this, but that's okay. Not every week has to be perfect. And that is reality. That is just how life goes. Okay, so everyone, now we're going to talk about Mystery Knit a Long Time. I have, Clue 1 has been out for slightly more than a week at this point. Feel like probably everybody has seen Clue 1 at this point, so I'm spoilers, but also and I have like nothing really knit of Clue 2. I have picked up stitches, and I'm also in the middle of a row because I think I was doing the short rows. But everyone, we're going to talk about Mystery Knit Along stuff by Stephen West, Twists and Turns, Mystery Knit Along 2022, all the excitingness. If you have been somehow maintained being spoiler free so far, now is your time to look away. But if you don't care, I'm going to show you mine now. If you follow me on Instagram, I did post a picture. So you may have seen it there. Goodness gracious, this yarn is so tangled. Okay, sorry. And let's save these needles. I'm also using some new needles, and I'm so excited to get to talk about them. I'm so happy. Okay, so here's what I have. Mystery Knit Along. I think this is upside down. I honestly don't know. This is what I have. Ta-da! Na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na. So, fun fact. My cast on should have been in my coral color, but I got too excited when I was casting on and got too excited when I saw my purple, and I was like, I guess I'm casting on with my purple because I think that's my main color. It's not my main color, it's my pop-up color. But by the time I got to the end of the I-cord, which if you're knitting it, you would be aware that it's very long, I was like, there's no way I'm redoing that. So we're leaving it. And I love it. To match the top, I actually striped my I-cord bind off with my main color, and I think that's super fun. It's not very obvious. I mean, it's obvious if you're looking for it, but other than that, it's pretty hidden away. My yarn, I'm using, let me delicately lift these balls of yarn out of here. Life in the Long Grass, so they're single base. This is Deep Coral, Sugar Plum, and Antique. And this is one of his kits, so I did in fact get the little bag, and I got all the goodies to go with it, and I'm so excited about that. Ta-da! When I got my box, I don't remember if I told this story. When I got the box, it was like open on both ends. The box was destroyed, and I was terrified because I knew that there were like little goodies inside this thing that was coming to me, that I had lost those little goodies because they had fallen out because this box was completely open. And thankfully that was not the case. They was tucked safely inside this bag, and everything was fine, nothing was damaged. But I saw the box and I was like, oh no. It was very unfortunate. And that it only has to do with it getting shipped here, not the people who packaged it up by any means. I know it got delayed at some point somewhere, so it had a rough journey getting here, but it finally got here, and obviously things are all good and hunky-dory now, but it's just very interesting. We are loving it. Are you knitting in the mystery knit along? Are you having a fun time? I have cast on, or I have started the Clue 2 over here. As you can see, I'm excited. It's gonna be really coral, and I'm really excited about it. So, everyone, I've talked previously in the past that during Mystery Knit Along time, because there are so many aspects of like learning new things and new experiences, new techniques, all that kind of fun stuff, because of that, I try and like try as many new things to me as possible. So I wanted to try new yarn. I have tried Life in the Long Grass yarn, but I haven't tried their single base, so there's also that. Obviously all the new techniques, all the fun stuff, and I decided to try new needles. And so when we were at DFW a couple weekends ago, my mom and I actually got some needles from a maker or a brand called Brick House Fiber Arts. And we got some needles from them, and they are so nice. So nice. And I think I showed these to you all when I was showing you all what I got from DFW, but these are the Prism Hexagon circular knitting needles. I got the Average Joe 32-inch size 6, made in the USA. They're from Alabaster, Alabama. They're a small independent company, and the ladies were just so sweet. They were very nice. And I am just loving knitting on them. They're super sharp. Not too sharp by any means. Are they sharper than the Chow Goose? No, those are not Chow Goose. We will find out. Where is the Chow Goose? We sit here as I try and feel if one point is sharper than the other. You know, actually I feel like the Chow Goose are sharper, but the point part of these needles are the same as the Chow Goo. It's just that the the very tip of it is a little bit more flat. And it's not that it's not blunt or whatever, it's still like perfect. It's so nice for getting into those stitches. It would be amazing for anything, really. I don't mean to say that these are blunt by any means, because they are not, but compared to the ChowGoos, they are a little bit more blunt on the ends. There's like a flatter tip. So if you do have a problem with the ChowGoos being too sharp, I would definitely recommend checking these out. These are obviously, because they're handmade, they are definitely a bit of a purchase. They're an investment, but like, if you invest in your tools, I get them in size 6s. I knit everything, I feel like, on size 6s. And the fact that they're hexagons, they're super nice. They rotate so nicely in their cord. There's no gapping. There's no snagging. I'm pretty sure they're all different colors as well, which is, I think, I could be wrong, but I think they're different colors. I don't know. The cord is like super flexible, arguably more flexible than the ChowGoo one. But again, these are a bit of an investment. Not terrible, and plus you're supporting some makers, which is great. But I don't know, it's just, yeah. I really enjoying working on these. It makes knitting this more of an experience for me, because obviously I've knit with ChowGoo for a super long time at this point. Still love them. But it's nice to try something new, and it's nice to try something that is a little bit different, and what I would call a luxury needle. And yeah, and I think I mentioned this when I was showing you all what I had gotten. My older brother, he makes flashlights, and though I don't fully understand the process of how he makes his flashlights, nor do I understand the process of how these people make their knitting needles, I'm assuming in my mind that they are somewhat similar, and I think that's really cool, and I understand how much work my brother puts into his flashlights, so I can just imagine that, I mean, I know that these people work so hard on their needles. So it was cool to be able to support them and to try something new. And it's just a fun way to kind of like up your knitting game, I guess, and just have a nice pair of needles that are fancy. It's like having that designer handbag or something like that. Not quite the same amount of money, but still, like, it's compared to other knitting needles, they're very nice. I love them. They're so wonderful. That is all that I have. All my knitting that I have. And I can't think of anything else that needs to be said. So with that, we're gonna start closing this episode down. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for being here. I apologize if this is not the normal level of hoppity pop that episodes normally are. We're obviously in a different location. It's just reality. This is what it is, but we just keep on, and yeah. I'm sure my headband is not really helping my headache, but it's cute, and it's autumnal, so we make sacrifices. Anyway, I have all the various social medias. I have show notes. I have yarn store information, all the various places. If you have any questions, or if I forget anything, or if you just want to say hi, please feel free to send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to say hi. Yeah, there's just, excuse me. Ooh, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And I'm going to have a lot of knitting this coming weekend. So hopefully a lot will be done. And today's Monday, so obviously it's the start of a new week. Is the sun coming out? No. It needs to stay cloudy. Pooh. Oh, well, maybe it's just for a brief moment. One can hope. Anyway. Show notes, all that stuff. I already said all that. I hope you've had a wonderful past couple of weeks. And I hope you can continue to have good weekends, good weeks, all that jazz. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are so successful. Are you knitting the mystery knit along? How are you enjoying it? Are you keeping it up? Are you embracing your pace and going at your own pace? Yes. I just really want to, I just wish I had more sets of hands, because it's not that I don't want to work on my test knits. I want to work on my test knits, but I also want to work on my mystery knit along, my socks, my Amara sweater. I want to work on all the things at the same time. I just don't have the capabilities. I just need to learn how to knit with my feet or something. Teach the cat how to knit. Sam knows how to knit, but I don't think he would enjoy working on these things for me. I'm sure if I asked him to, he would probably give it a fair try, but I would not do that to him. He could probably knit on the body of my Feels Like Winter pullover. That'd be pretty simple. I'm sure he could do that. Anyway, I need to go move the laundry along and get this started to be edited. But thank you so much for being here. You are wonderful. You are enough. I hope you are just enjoying the seasons change wherever you are. I mean, your seasons may have already changed. Maybe you're experiencing hotter weather. Maybe you're experiencing colder weather. Maybe it's snowing where you are already. We're starting to get just the smallest glimpse of fall, and I am so excited. I need it to be cooler. I need it to be cooler now, and I need it to not be sunny, and I need it to continue to rain, because we've had too much sun, not enough rain. Literally not enough rain. Anyway, we don't need a weather rant at the very end of the podcast. We will move on. We all know how I feel about the weather. Anyway. Thank you so much for being here. Happy knitting. Hopefully we will have a couple finished objects next time we chat. We will see. But either way, we're gonna embrace our pace for everything. It's okay. We have deadlines, but we're just gonna take it one day at a time. It will be fine. And can't wait to talk to you about everything next time. So with that, I will see you all later.